Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and on today's build and play guide, we're going to be taking a look at Shimanto, the tier 7 of the new Japanese light cruiser line. Very much like Amano, you want to use Atago or Hagero if you have them. If not, Yamato works fine. Again, I don't think I would necessarily use Makawa anymore on this line after 4 or 5. Because you can, like I said, actually start to dodge some shells a little bit with this, and you build into the HE. If you guys didn't see the last video where I talked about how good the HE is in comparison to some other ships, or like the video that came out yesterday of me citadeling with this HE, then you'll understand that the HE is good. And I always like building into ship strengths, and this line is obviously built around the HE. Now, do not forget about the AP. As you've seen in every video of these lines, I'm using AP too. So there is times, especially cruisers within 10 kilometers or so, you can absolutely shred with AP if you get the correct accuracy. So for Haguro, Kuzanov, Membeli for the reload, base straight, deck is on fire, and beyond range, igniter, hellfire, and fixated for your skills. And again, I now in this line, I actually like the refill station over the fully packed. So let's go ahead and go to upgrades. Dispersion, because the turrets move extremely quick on this ship. And not only that, but these go back to the 360-degree turrets outside of the front one, the very front one. It can't do 360, but all the other ones can. And then for your second mod, propulsion to stop and start. And your third one, you definitely want to go with concealment mod. And your fourth one, definitely go with the reload, because this has a much slower reload than the rest of the line. And the turret traverse is always already really good, like I just said in this line. So you want to definitely take that. This is a very good mod for this ship. It works very well. And then for your upgrades, as you can see, I'm not fully upgraded. And by the way, this whole line, for the most part, when I've been playing, I've been super unlucky with the matchmaking, and I have been the bottom tier in almost all these matches these first 2 days. So with these new ships, which I don't actually mind, I actually enjoy it, but so your first one, take your range increase. It's not 15K. I don't know why that's saying that there. Then your second one, I would definitely take the hull. The AA mounts, that actually, let's go ahead and just take that quick and see how much that boosts that AA, because I haven't got to do that, and this thing already has solid AA. We'll just check here with you. And then for your last one, take your torpedoes. So let's see what this AA is. It was 95, I think, or 85 or something. Oh, yeah. So we'll look at that here in a second, but that's definitely better. Um, for your consumables, sonar, these sonars, like I've said on these lines, they're short duration. They're more like defensive sonars when you're really pretty sure something bad's going to happen to you. And the catapult fighters, which do come in handy, you could take defensive AA. I've only had, I think, one carrier match in it. You guys are going to see it. The AA seems to be respectable. To be respectable. I didn't really get focus, so I don't know. But based on what I can see, it seems okay. And it also has 2 repair parties. Um, for survivability at 44,000 health. Now, I didn't have that, obviously, when I did my match. And the artillery for the guns on it 18 kilometers. So this line has solid range, especially for light cruisers. You don't really need a ton of range. I like having it, but you don't need it. But you have 15 5-inch guns that reload every 12 seconds, and these things have some kick between, like the rest of the line on the HE. If you can get into a place or dodge or have spotting just to unload these shells, they can be very powerful. Now, I don't play in divisions. I'm a solo player, so I struggle a little bit more with that line, and also this line because of that, and then also because of my playstyle. I'm aggressive, and it's really tough to be aggressive in these ships. Torpedoes, it has good torpedoes, especially the damage. They are slow, but again, you throw them out there and you catch stuff. The AA defense, even when I had it, it seems decent. Especially having that 5 kilometer and the 6 kilometer on your AA, I'm pretty sure this thing will probably shred planes if you get it in a good match where somebody gets focused on you. Maneuverability, turning circle is not good. That's battleship turning circles essentially. Speed is okay, and the rudder shift down to 8-1. Before that, again, like the whole entire line, before you get the hull upgrade, the rudder shift is not the greatest. You're talking a lot of these are going to be 11 or 12, when you're getting into the rudder shifts before your hull upgrades. Detectability 10-5, pretty solid. And you can see here, again, I always do better at the higher levels. Like the lower levels are fun for me because they're super unpredictable. But I do, as you guys have seen with this whole line, the higher the tier, the more I win. That's just the way it is in the game for me. And this is even including getting dev struck my first time right away in the ship. So, just keep that in mind. It's easier to predict people, I feel, at higher tiers, so it makes, a little bit better. And I've also understood this line better as I played it. And you can kind of see that. That first ship, I don't even remember what my win rate was, but it was atrocious. And it's not like I had 7 battles in that thing. I think I had like 20 or something, 15 or 20, and it was atrocious and just get hit. So once you get a feel by this point in the line, you kind of have an understanding what you need to do in this ship, and it starts to pay off, even with the main gun accuracy not being ideal. However, you do have 15 guns, so you do have that going for you. I've had solid games in it. It pretty, 7 matches. This feels like my favorite ship out of the line. I really do seem to like it quite a bit, and you do get a tiny bit more armor. Now, you still get Will Dev Struck in this thing, and it's still not good. But the side plating, where you can actually, I find like once in a while, you can actually get, uh, you can kind of bounce some cruiser shells on the side plating. The Citadel, if anything with AP looks at it and you're not angled, goodbye, you are gone again. And you finally have a solid bow on this, so you can't take battleships with it for the most part, but you're going to be able to take. You can actually stop at this point now some cruisers. So we'll take this away. You guys can see the Citadel on it. It's still pretty big. It's not as bad as the other ones, but again, at tier 7 with the accuracy, especially tier 8, because I've had a lot of tier 8 matches. With the accuracy at tier 8, this can be rough. As we go ahead and start this match and check who we're up against, I do want to say it is disclaimer time. This is a beginner's guide to help out people just learning this ship or learning the game in general. This is not for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything. There is also multiple ways to build and play ships, so opinions will vary. I am just a above average player. I don't claim to be the best player in the world. I just am a pretty darn good player. So I do make mistakes. You're going to see some in this match. And also, you didn't come to this video to see how to pronounce names, as I am very terrible at slaughtering other beautiful languages. It's almost an art form, so keep that in mind when you're watching this, guys. With that being said, as we go ahead and start, we're bottom tier, mostly sevens though, which was a nice change of pace. We've been normally just going up against eights in the ship quite a bit. So this, I really wanted to showcase this match. I had another one that was really good too, but it was basically just me burning down battleships for the most part, which is what you're going to do a lot in these ships, but this will kind of show something a little bit different in this ship. Um, we have a carrier, which the core carrier is not going to super focus on me here in the beginning. We're going to try to use our AA to help our destroyer friend here. But this ship, or this match, is going to play out a little differently. The beginning's going to start the same, but I felt like this was a better game to showcase than the higher damage, quote unquote, game, because I feel like this was a good showcase of, in this line, you're going to have to know when to push and when to back off and kind of like disengage. And knowing when to just not shoot your guns. And this is going to be a good showcase for it. So I am located, so pretty sure there was a destroyer here at this time. So I'm being a little bit careful here at this point. I figured the destroyer was right in front of me, so I figured if I moved, I would clearly get spotted. So we're going to use this as cover for right now. This is actually a pretty good island to use a lot of times. Now, I'm a little close to it, but that's also because I do not want to get hit on this thing. Like I said, it's not as bad as the other tiers, but not great. And you have so many guns that even if you can't get them all off, just getting some of them off, as you can see, I'm spotted. So definitely realize he is now out over there, and that trying to go ahead and back up here to get a better over this island because I did park too close. But honestly, I should have just stayed where I was because definitely you don't always have to get all your guns on target. You can, only your fronts or only your rears. A lot of times in the ship is not the end of the world. Like everybody has to get full salvos out, and a lot of times it'll get them in trouble. But as you can see, we move forward in time because there was torpedoes there going by, and we're spotted. So and then we went unspotted. So we have an idea that he went through an island to the back, and also our lightning also at the same time figured that out as well. So we're just trying to be careful because I know I'm probably going to get spotted off and on, and I'm being patient. There's an Atlantico and a Brandenburg in this match, and at some point they're going to charge. It's just what German battleships, Italian battleships, that's what they do. And in Atlantico, they do too well. It's in their nature. As you see, the Brandenburg is there. I'm spotted, so I'm being careful here. One thing with this ship, and this is another thing I wanted to talk about with this ship, is you do not want to get close up in any fight really anyway, but particularly against secondary ships, because this line in general, this one, like I said, better than the others, but these secondaries will actually tear you apart with full pens. Like, they can actually really do a lot of damage to you in these light cruisers. So as you see, we have got some shells on the Brandenburg. A lot of them have actually shattered here. I should have switched to AP, but I was trying to get a fire going. But we're going to move up just a little bit so I don't get spotted by the destroyer. Figured maybe a little distance will help. And there, the destroyer is spotted. So you see a destroyer, you reshoot at them. You're almost never going to see matches where you're not seeing me take on destroyers. It's my play style. I think it's the correct way to do. You need to get rid of destroyers in this game. Now we notice the Brandenburg's moving forward, and as I said, Brandenburg's, uh, Bismarck's, Tirpitz, they all charge. All right. So I'm also watching to my left in case a destroyer comes up the middle, but we want to be very careful. We know Brandenburg's going to charge, so we're going to send out torpedoes. Now, I put him back a little bit, thinking he was going to slow down for the island, and we're going to use this mountain to stay out of his secondary range because they can't really lead. The mount where he has to shoot, he has to lead through the mountain. So we're going to use that to our advantage. Even though we're spotted, I'm not really scared. I know there's not a whole lot here. And we don't want to get close up to his secondaries. At this range, they're not very accurate. They'll still do you some damage, but I'm not too worried about that. We got to get rid of Brandenburg before he does, really start to get in close where he could actually do some damage to either me or my teammates. And you can see he actually just drove in a straight line, kind of. I swear it's a German battleship problem, but he drives in a straight line. And my second set, which were more on the line, definitely is what did it. And now we have a perma flood on him. And that was a good choice for me to back up there, because if I hadn't, I would have been completely destroyed by his secondaries. And we get spotted again here, but he's getting flooded and he's going down. And we're going to make the turn back. I'm not spotted in the middle. That's one of the reasons one of the things I was paying attention to is I'm not spotted over here, so there's nobody coming up the middle. So we're going to go back and help finish off this flank, and we're going to go ahead and come up to take shots at Anchorage here. Now, another thing is, Anchorage is everyone I've seen to play since this ship has come out. It is a good ship, but people will just go ahead. As you see, I switched to AP here because we do have his broadside. Anchorage is, I will give this guy credit. He actually moves a little bit. Most Anchorages, if you guys see an Anchorage and they smoke up, a lot of times they literally just stop and don't move for the next 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and shoot because he's clearly slowing down. I check with my torpedoes, and we're going to get ready. And I actually thought he was going to stay spotted for just a second longer, but we're going to blind fire. And now we're going to quit shooting, and this is important to disengage. Because if we get close or his plane spots us, he can just shoot from the smoke all willy-nilly and hurt us. So we're gonna make the turn and we're gonna go in, and we're gonna catch this guy off guard, or I'm gonna try to anyway. I do this a lot. We throw torpedoes into the smoke. That's always a safe bet for torpedoes. Throw them in any smoke. So a lot of times you'll get something. And we are gonna work our way up here. And you can see he actually moves. He gets out to spot because he was just sitting in there not getting any spotting. We do take a shot. It wasn't a very good shot because he was only spotted for a second, so I tried to get the shot out the best I could. And with only 2 guns, we just had 2 shells pinned. But now, 100%, we know we're coming up. And I actually thought this guy was going to be here because a lot of anchorages don't move in smoke. But you're going to see he's up. And you're going to see we, again, with AP, start to citadel this guy. And it is important, that you don't just use only HE. You can get away with it in this ship, but sometimes AP, as you can see, we absolutely, wrecked him with AP there. Now I drive into an island because I'm really smart like that. To be fair, I was just trying to was paying attention to getting rid of Anchorage. There's really nothing over here now other than the carrier, so I wasn't too worried. In fact, I didn't even think I would get to the carrier, but very quietly, we've had a good game. We've really helped our team on this side. We won our side. We have 90,000 damage, which is respectable in a cruiser. But we're going to go ahead and move up. I'm not really a damage guy, but in cruisers, man, if you get some good spotting in cruisers, you can get some pretty gnarly games. if I don't play in divisions, but if I did play in divisions, these would probably be one of my favorite ships to try. Just because it might be a lot of fun, like San Diego. San Diego is one of them ships too. If you have spotting in a division, you can absolutely wreck people. Now, uh, my shells just don't make it there. And I'm trying, but you can see I take a lot of crazy shots. That's why my accuracy is my accuracy stats are a little bit lower than other people's because I am willing to do dumb stuff like this or try to clear mountains and shoot mountains. But so we're gonna drive close, try to help get rid of this carrier, get this match done with. But once we got rid of the anchorage, about by that time the match was pretty much done as the anchorage goes dark, and we go ahead and we're gonna keep trying here. We're gonna get some more spotting, and then we are gonna go ahead and get a fire on him, and that's a perma fire. So uh, again, at this point, match is really over. So this is just helping get the match over quicker. That poor carrier is facing the entire team himself. And we do clip 100k damage here. So not bad. Not my best game in it by any means. But again, a solid showcase of when to back up and disengage and know when to push. Like you can get really caught in this, especially this line with secondaries. You do not want to be close to secondaries in this line. But anyway, we help our team out. We have a solid game, and I believe we're top on the leaderboard. Yes, we are, with a very respectable game. Most importantly, though, helping our team win. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time, folks. Have a good one.